My guest this evening is none other than Bill O'Reilly, a longtime friend, and I'm actually a real admirer of him and his work. Bill, I gotta open up. You're in the world of public relations. Stories break any hour of the day, any hour of the night. Do you ever sleep? I'm sorry.
There was a time a number of years ago where we were doing a lot of bookings for clients.
Okay.
And a lot of them were foreign policy related, down in Washington.
Oh, so 1 second. Foreign policy.
Oh,
so then
it was a nightmare. It was a nightmare.
Right.
Every time, I hate to say it, it's terrible, but a bomb would go off, and they go off all the time. Right. There'd be a statement that had to go out on it. So we didn't sleep then. We don't do as much of that. But you touch on a great point,
Okay.
Yitzchok, is that if you're looking to do public relations for your company or for whatever entity you're involved with, the best way to do it is to piggyback onto the news. And that's not new thinking, but that's important thinking, is if you can find a way to relate to the news cycle, that is incredibly beneficial. My favorite story, I'll do a couple, but my favorite story, which I was not involved with, I wish I had been, was when the Mir space station was crashing into the Earth.
Okay.
Taco Bell floated a raft, a target raft, out into the Pacific Ocean, and said that if the Mir space station, hit the target, they would give everyone on the planet a free taco. Ba-boom, ba-boom. Now that's great PR. It's gimmicky, yes, but it's like, and it just takes off. It just goes from there. But it's you look for what's happening locally or internationally, whatever it is, and you tie to it. I was working with an insurance firm in Manhattan, a very very good old insurance firm, and I thought, insurance, what are we going to do about this? And it was just as the Ivory Pirates had kidnapped that boat. They had pirated that ship, and there were Americans on board.
Yes,
right, it was
yes.
a big deal, and so we'd heard on the news, about kidnapping insurance and that kind of thing. Right. So I ran to the insurance firm and said, "Do you do K&R or kidnapping insurance?" I didn't know what it was called. And they said, "K&R, sure." And I was like, "Whoa, hold on a second."
Got a story.
And so we put out a thing, across the news sources across the country saying we have an expert in K&R insurance and how it works and everything behind it. And that person sat at the desk for 2 solid days doing, not hundreds, but close to 100 interviews, I would say, to the entire Fox Radio network. I mean, all over the country. It was just lighting up. Nobody knew what it was. What is K&R insurance? Should I have it? What does it mean? If I have it, does it make me a target? And the guy was a great guest. So you watch what's happening in the news.
Exposure was unreal.
Yeah, watch what's going on in the news, and there's a lot going on in the news every day, and find a way to do something about that. If you got that bed company and you find out that Vladimir Putin has a bad back, send him a mattress. You know what I mean? Put it on the news. Do a news conference. Do what it takes.
Now, this probably segues into the next question and this is such a important question, especially in the world of social media. How do you develop a campaign or a concept that will go viral? I'm sorry. I hope I'm not putting you on the spot. I mean, it's because it's such a toughie.
It's such a toughie, and you don't really know it until it happens. And you try. I mean, I've tried to make a lot of things go viral that have not, and then some things that I've done have gone viral.
And you
not knowing that it might
be.
Actually, that same insurance company had done. We had just started with them. We were trying to get them some quick press to show that we were paying attention and diligent. Right. And they had gone to a trade show someplace, and they put up a jar of jelly beans.
Okay.
And they asked, they guess the number and you win whatever it was.
Right.
And a woman came up and she guessed the exact number of jelly beans, which is really pretty tough to do.
Yeah,
There were
unreal.
72,612 or something, and she hit it. And then she said a little extra bit came in, which was, this is the second time I've done that. She had won one in high school. So I was thinking, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? I put out a media advisory. I said, let's do a little news conference. Let's try it. No one shows up, no loss. And the headline for the media advisory was "Jumping Jelly Bean, She Does It Again." And then we did about this woman who had hit the jelly beans. That thing took off all across America, South America, into Asia.
Wow.
I don't know what it was. It was of absolutely no benefit to the insurance company whatsoever, except maybe it got their name out a little bit, but it was fun as all get up. The thing took off. We were turning down Colombian stations, Argentina. I mean, it took off. And some things do, and some things don't. You can gin things up. I once had we did a news conference with Rick Lazio once, who was trying to get Theodore Roosevelt, President Roosevelt, the Congressional Medal of Honor, or the Medal of Honor, posthumously.
Right.
And so we had a Rough Rider come on horseback on 23rd Street outside of Teddy Roosevelt's house, and the congressman, he was then a congressman, a pretty influential congressman, one of the senior guys in New York, was there to make this thing. It was about getting him the medal. We set up outside. Nobody showed up. I think Channel 55 from Long Island showed up. And it's like, really? Like, what's going on today that nobody showed up? But sometimes, someone discovers a tomato that looks like Frank Sinatra, or an ice cream truck blows up, which happened during Perry Durier's announcement speech for governor years ago, and all the cameras peeled off to the kids licking the pavement. So you can't really control the news, and you don't really know what's going to go viral. But I bet you that ice cream truck did. I suspect.
Whatever was remaining of it. But by the way, there's a very important takeaway that you just shared, and that is that you have to try, you have to think creatively, you have to try, and you can't lose sleep if it doesn't work. But if you don't try, then it's 100% guaranteed it for sure won't work.
That's right, and it's a cumulative process. Meaning, especially when you get yourself a press list, and anybody can do that, going online or just picking up newspapers at the local box, or you can find the information, and get an email address, and you Google, how do I write a press release? How do I write a media advisory? That type of thing. That just because you put something out and it doesn't get coverage doesn't mean it wasn't noticed. And if you do it again and again, and it's reasonable stuff, you don't want to be crazy out there. But if you push the stuff, you begin to get a reputation among reporters that are keeping an eye on it. And eventually you will break through if you're doing it reasonably intelligently. Is you have to be persistent, and you can't become despondent when you're standing out there with a microphone stand and no microphones. You just keep at it.
Gotta keep at it.
And it's it really is cumulative. It makes a difference.
I love the honor of interviewing C-level executives and sharing their great advice and perspective on Mind Your Business. I'd love to get your feedback. Post it in the comments below and subscribe. You'll never miss an edition of Mind Your Business.